Nothing. We've done this bit a bunch of times, so I wanted to change it up a little bit. How much money do you guys have in your bank accounts, and could you pay $100,000 fine? So I guess you don't have to tell me how much money is in your bank accounts, but
that's a definitive no. I'm just gonna say that.
Right.
Do you think Cole Custer has enough money in his bank account? I mean, we're going to talk about it.
Probably.
Yeah.
Do you think he gets paid $100,000?
At some point, he does.
I'll look up his contract.
Get into finance law.
Yeah.
There's a. I feel bad. Like everyone heard. This is for the cold open. I feel like before the cold open, before we record, we kind of have pleasantries, and I had to run to the little boys' room, like right when everyone decided they wanted to be ready for the show.
See, folks, that's how you put blame on other people without putting it on yourself. Continue.
Precisely. And I missed all the regular pleasantries, and so when I came back, I had to speed run my own pleasantries about my life.
We were talking about World War I.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hey, it could have been college football, which I care less about, or NFL football, which I don't care about.
I was going to say, I don't think Matt cares about college football either, so.
Yeah, same. So.
I guess you guys have that in common. They played at the Hotspur Stadium this past weekend, though.
They did.
They did.
It was a very good game, also.
Yeah, and the Packers lost, which made it even better.
Yeah.
The best part is they're trying to get American companies naming rights for the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium because the NFL is going to be playing there so much. Like they're in advanced talks with Google right now, which sucks because I'm always going to call it the old name of the stadium. I'm always going to call it White Hart Lane because it's the same exact place where it was. But
they, around the NFL, they always refer to it as the Big Tot. So
that's kind of sick. I like that actually. I kind of like as a fan of Tottenham, I like that.
Yeah.
That raises the question: what would you call the Charlotte Motor Speedway if you had to give it a nickname?
The Roval Dome. I don't
know. Folks, this is a Fake Racers podcast. As always, we appreciate you tuning in. I'm Joe.
I'm Davey.
I'm Matthew.
And we can't wait to talk about racing with you for the next probably under an hour. All right. It is past 11 o'clock in the East. It's actually like 11:20 in the East.
We're all tired, but we're going to bring the energy anyway because that's what we do.
That's what we do.
I'm amped up on Strawberry Kiwi Emergency right now. So
good podcasters don't back down. Matthew is coming into his second straight podcast here tonight.
The real heroes in this country.
Matt just came out. Well, how long was that Oof Sides episode, bud? Like
probably like 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
pretty standard.
That is insane.
It's not really that long.
This is what I get. This is what I get for going. Yeah, guys, let's do Oof Sides. Post it on JTN2. Hopefully you get more viewership that way.
It's still a good idea.
It is.
Yeah.
But then I also tried to give them the caveat, hey, keep it about an hour. Because we see that the longer shows don't do as well, which makes a lot of sense.
Dumb, so.
But then
you should set, what you should do is you should get like one of those little like sand things that you can turn over for like half an hour. And you should just divide the show up into like 4 half-an-hour segments. That way you can still talk forever because everyone wants to talk.
But you can upload it in 4 little bits.
We can upload it.
I think it was
upload it in palatable segments.
One episode is your recap. You release that on a Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever, and then you do your Thursday night football preview with that one, and then your second episode for the week is your preview for the rest of the weekend.
You are grossly overestimating the abilities of the Oofsides cast to come together multiple times a week.
No. You still record it all at once. You still record the 2 hours.
All at once.
Yeah, but you split it up so that way your uploads are smaller.
You're recording for 2 hours anyway. Just buy a little sand timer thing like the pirates have.
Yeah. This one I think was only like an hour long.
Okay, like I'm proud of you.
The first one was way too long. So
the first one was also the one that did the best.
Yeah. That one was like over 2 hours long, and I was like, we gotta speed it up here, you guys.
It's so intriguing how you guys can talk about football that long. Like, that's awesome. Like, I love it.
A lot of the time is we just get wildly off topic. It's a like weekly tradition where we will get so far off topic talking about sometimes stuff not even football, and then we'll be like, and that was Giants Packers. So
Davey doesn't know what those things are.
I've never heard of what was it called? A Giantes Pacers? That's the basketball team, right? The Packers, Pacers. Yeah.
Close enough.
All right. Tonight, I just want to give a little. I learned that Ricky thought that people that study trees were abolitionists. I don't know if you guys saw me post that clip.
I did see that.
Davey, I don't know if you saw it. I think it's definitely worth a watch. I posted it in a couple places. Yeah.
I heard about it when it happened, and then I saw it, and I still kind of can't believe that it happened. So
I lost it, man.
That's amazing.
Can't believe that's a thing that's real. Hey, and you guys hold up the show. I'm gonna get water because I'm a bad podcaster.
That's okay.
That's fine. We're just spitballing here right now. So
yeah, this is kind of our. Oh, look, that mug has a
handle.
That one's
got a handle. Yeah,
that's crazy. I wonder if that's a JTN mug. Probably not though, because it does have a handle.
That one is though.
Yeah, go buy it. JTN merch store, please. Help support me. Bristol needs food. Yeah, buy JTN merch so Bristol can eat.
You wouldn't want Bristol to go hungry, would you? Since we're still exchanging pleasantries, what did you do this weekend, Joe?
I went to my first hockey game of the year for
sick.
Good old U of M, and we won. We kicked butt. We scored a minivan, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
I didn't go to the Saturday night game. I just went to the Friday night game, and we played Boston University this weekend. It's standing room only for Friday and limited tickets for Sunday's game. So pretty exciting. I watched the Lions lose. Watched the racing. Watched the Lions lose. Watched Michigan give me a heart attack for first half of the football game. So pretty standard weekend. You of course were on vacation hunting.
Well, that was the weekend before.
You were on vacation last week.
Yeah, this weekend I spent almost all of Saturday and Sunday working on my Bronco, which I finally got back. Still not running, but we're gonna get there. So,
Bronco, are you like Broncoing it up?
So, old motor was bad head gasket or cracked head or something. So it's got a new motor in it. It's not running right now. Probably just old gas. Put new spark plugs in it. I have new plug wires in my car. New distributor cap. New rotor. Probably gonna get a new ignition coil. It's getting fuel, so I got to figure out why it's not running, but we're going to get there. So
nice.
Trying to replace all the cheap stuff before we actually do expensive stuff to it.
Davey, did you do anything fun this past weekend?
I went grocery shopping.
Oh, nice. What'd you get?
Oh, hell yeah. Went to the grocery.
I got, I keep coughing without muting the mic.
It's because
I'm busy. I'm busy podcasting.
Yeah, exactly.
Correct.
Tier A
experience.
Tier A podcaster Davey Hazard.
Busy man. Yeah, I leave to get water in the middle. I got hamburgers and chicken and like
manly
potatoes,
stuff,
or potatoes and like sauce and pasta. And so I got a little more Parmesan cheese because I was running out. I was running low. By running low, I had half a little canister thing.
Yeah, I get the industrial sized ones.
I don't blame you. Honestly, I need to just do that. I think the problem with that is I would get complacent. I would be like, oh, I have plenty, and then I wouldn't.
You don't get complacent with Parmesan cheese, man.
Because I would have too much at my disposal. Is the problem? I'd be like, oh, I can just use it up, and then two plates of pasta later, I'm like, oh, my industrial sized tub of Parmesan's almost gone. And so, what am I gonna do now?
You gotta you go get it at Costco's or Sam's Club, or I think BJ's is another.
Oh, I forgot to use my dandruff shampoo. Let me just shake my head out over it or something. I don't
God.
Man, I wanted to eat pasta for dinner tomorrow.
It's ruined now.
All right, show's over, guys. Thanks for watching. No,
yeah.
I was gonna eat pasta tonight, but I had tacos instead. Tacos, as some might say.
It's Tuesday. Recording on a Tuesday.
It is Taco Tuesday.
It's Taco Tuesday.
That's I hate tacos.
You're weird for that. I think I don't. We're not. I don't want to dive into that. I just want to acknowledge that that is weird.
I should rephrase that. I hate like taco nights at home. Like good tacos are good, but like
so you don't like the occasion.
I can't. Yeah, I guess I can't.
You don't like the attention.
I don't like the taco seasoning. I don't know what it is. I just don't like the taco seasoning.
I don't like the taco seasoning. I don't know what it is. Why did that get me? That was really funny.
This cold opening's been going for like 15 minutes. We should probably talk about the
It's actually only been going for 9 minutes and 48 seconds. 49.
Feels 50. A lot longer.
the least interesting part of the race, Christopher Bell won.
I mean, it was a walk-off win, right?
Who cares?
I'm not gonna lie. I like immediately forgot that Christopher Bell won. Like immediately after.
Yeah, because you're probably crying because your driver got eliminated.
Nah, I was like, whatever.
Little baby.
Where's Keselowski at, buddy?
29th in points.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy.
As far as I'm concerned, my driver was out after Texas, so yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
yeah.
'Cause he got concussion.
Disgust.
A card.
Oh, my camera's not. Oh, dude. What the
you might get demoted to tier B, honestly.
Why is it doing that?
It's only focused if you're like right up on it. Welcome to Fake Racers, you guys.
Oh, we're good.
Hey, there we go.
We're good. I had to trick it.
A cardboard sign brings out a caution that sets
It
us
wasn't
up.
cardboard. That was corrugated. It's corrugated plastic.
Oh, so that could cut a tire.
Oh,
I don't know if it could cut a tire, but
Yeah.
running over it would suck because it's so big. The rear tires would slide right out.
Yeah.
You would spin out on it. Yeah.
That's
Maybe
a
no grip,
hazard.
just slide on that. I agree. I think it's like.
And you're the hazard
Excuse me.
expert.
I think it's I see the merit in people who are like but also like I definitely see why it was. Like I understand.
I was
it.
definitely rooting for a caution too when I saw that on the racetrack. So I'm not.
Oh
gonna...
yeah,
I'm not-
the fan in me was like, we need something.
Yeah.
When they showed that sign on the track, I'm pretty sure Discord erupted. We were very happy.
The crazy part is they
we were pretty happy.
processional.
They threw the caution and
Yeah.
Chase was leading. I mean, like that's bonkers.
I was like, there's no way they throw this. There's no way. There's no way. And then they did.
Gotta say,
I was thoroughly surprised.
the way Chase Elliott got the lead was just like so frustrating to watch. How Reddick and Allmendinger's crews just pulled like just terrible strategies to just hand Chase a 4-second lead. I was like, what are you
Well, you
doing?
know. I mean, the next gen car sucks on the road courses in its current iteration.
You know,
I don't really feel like there's a fix coming for that. Because all the concern has to go to safety right now. But yeah, cardboard sign brings out a caution. We get a bunch of crazy restarts. Shout out to AJ Allmendinger and Tyler Reddick for not giving a crap on the one restart. Had AJ bounce Chase and Reddick don't chase.
Yeah.
And Reddick's the only one getting hate, but that's because he's going to Toyota anyways. So
And
all the
I
Chevy
did think it was
fanboys.
funny when Allmendinger ran Elliott up the track and then missed the exit of the corner, and then Harvick was like, "All right, I don't mind if I do, if that's how we're doing stuff," and then just punted Allmendinger too. And I was like, "This is getting stupid." Okay.
I mean, honestly, like that was one of those situations too where I don't think AJ did anything like too bad, right? Like I think we've kind of gotten to the point where we are okay with side by side contact. Maybe not okay with running a guy over, William Byron, but definitely weird. So Chase, of course, was pouting after the race. Just want to say, if you're the most popular driver, don't push cameras away from you. Politely ask them to leave, or go to the hauler if you want to have a private conversation. I know Davey's rolling his eyes because he doesn't care.
no, it's not because I don't care. It's just
What?
it does. Like it's your job.
Yeah.
It's your job. It's your job. It's the same thing that I've been. It's gone straight up my butthole with IndyCar drivers recently in the past year to not caring about being a presence in the sport in that way. And Chase Elliott just wants to show up and drive. That's cool and all. It's not what you signed up for. It's not your job.
Yeah.
It's part of your job. It's one of your responsibilities. That's not your only job. And I don't know. I kind of cringe when he kind of does the new Chase Elliott thing where he's kind of sassy and he's just like,
Well, because all his fans support the crap out of him no matter what he does, so he knows he's not going to really lose them. I mean, Chase Elliott could walk out on Broadway and, I don't know, pop a guy.
piss on a child.
Probably get away with it. It feels like
Yeah.
with NASCAR fans at least, I guess maybe not
Right.
get away with it, but
Yeah,
I
Mhm.
I don't know.
It's
It was awkward. It was weird. It was just weird.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. We have one rule, Joe. Matt.
What is it?
Don't be weird. It's free. I know he gets paid a ton of money to not be weird. He's weird.
Yeah, I mean, I get frustrations and stuff, but I dude's doing his job, and to push him and the camera, I mean, those cameras are heavy. I mean, we can get into the whole, oh, you could have shoved him over. I mean, we saw what a football player shoving a guy over does, but
How relevant.
I hate doing strawman arguments, but it's the same kind of crap that Kyle Busch has been getting trashed for 15 years.
oh yeah.
So
Yeah, no, I don't even know. I wouldn't even call that straw man. That's just
Sure.
facts. Like
the way I was thinking, the whole like, oh, if it was Kyle Busch, and it was like,
yeah, genuinely, if Kyle Busch did that, we would be hearing about it still. You know.
yeah.
SHR plays some games at the end of
Big
the race.
story.
Big
At least
story.
the big story right now.
Cole Custer hit the brakes going into the backstretch chicane.
No, he had a flat. Remember?
Well, because he had a flat, so he hit the brakes.
Yeah.
Chase
clearly.
Briscoe was already in a position to advance because he had held the tiebreaker with Larson because Larson had an atrocious round of 12 as well.
Not to mention just a complete meltdown at the end of that race too.
Well, I mean, he made a mistake. He hit the wall, and the car's fragile as F. And
Yeah.
Davey's got his loss in. She's gonna pop another one in.
Lozenge time because I have stuff to say.
Consistency is where I go with this one. Consistency.
You're going down a dead end.
Am I?
You're going down a dead end. You're going towards a dead end. If you're gonna ask for consistency with NASCAR,
okay, I understand that.
that's a dead end.
But I can still have the same gripe with them. It's just another example of it, right? Like
Okay.
that's the problem I have with it. William Byron punts a fellow playoff contender under caution, and NASCAR does the right thing and gives Byron a penalty, a 25-point penalty and a $50,000 fine. That penalty is then appealed and no longer carries points going into last week's race. I think I guess we didn't get to talk about that. Which, by the way, is complete BS because they either appeal the penalty before the next race or don't let them appeal. Yeah. I mean, you can just not let them appeal conduct penalties.
I feel like that's a really good idea. Not one that'll ever be implicated, not one that it's like never going to happen, but
or in an ideal world, you don't blatantly miss somebody intentionally spinning somebody down the front stretch under caution, and then there's no penalty to appeal. You just act on it in the middle of the race when it happened.
Send them to the back.
Like it's your job, and then this doesn't even happen.
That's still the craziest thing that they're just like, we didn't see it.
I call BS on that.
Ignorance.
That's a complete load of crap. And the fact that I know NASCAR isn't the appeal court, but the fact that his penalty got appealed, I think shows that NASCAR doesn't care.
No, because you
or maybe not doesn't care, but it just adds to the fact that if you're in the playoffs, you can do whatever you want.
So NASCAR made some amendments to the rule book in terms of on-track conduct this past week going into this race that kind of addressed those things. Some of those gray areas to kind of make it so, well, we can do this penalty, because the whole appeals argument, from what my understanding of it was, well, it doesn't say that they're going to penalize us like this if we do this. And the appeals panel is like, well, there wasn't a precedent set, which I think is the argument that Hendrick used with their probably billion-dollar lawyers, I'm sure that they have for some reason.
Yeah.
So, again, I mean, it's for that whole deal is so freaking frustrating because, hey, guess what? William Byron being in the playoffs is also what knocked Kyle Larson out of the playoffs. And I don't know about you, but I think I'd rather have Kyle Larson in the playoffs than William Byron. Not that I don't think either's been that much better than the other, but Kyle Larson, I feel like, gives me a better chance to win a driver's title.
It is good karma. Yeah. it's but I mean, the root of this comes. We're coming back to, you know, we got to come circle back around to the
This
SHR.
41. Yep.
With the 41 and the 14. It's man, you know, it is a very hefty penalty levied against the 41 team.
Indefinitely suspending their crew chief.
Yeah.
Death penalty
that is
for that guy.
that's
Mike
big
Shiplett.
time. Hey, who knows? Maybe he'll finally get a crew chief that's good.
Whoa.
Just a second.
Not making any
My
arguments.
neighbor's dog's barking. I'm gonna close
You're
the
good.
bathroom window.
Yeah, close the window.
Okay.
That indefinite suspension though, that's the crazy part.
Yeah.
$100,000 don't matter.
There's a lot of like back and forth with the severity of it, and did it actually make a difference? I think it makes a huge
No, it
difference.
makes
I think the actions on the track make a difference, regardless of the point situation heading into the final chicane. We're looking at 2 to 3 cars that were in front of a playoff driver that was tied on points in 2 of arguably the most treacherous corners on the whole circuit, the whole schedule. Excuse me. And I think the reason the penalties are so harsh is because of the risk that is involved in those last 2 corners. What Cole Custer did cleared that risk. It gave, without a doubt, the ability for Chase Briscoe to advance to the next round. Did it? I think, and they said as much as well. They said it wasn't the sole reason. If it was the sole reason, it would have been a much harsher penalty. And so I'm glad that they took that into account. But it's really tough because it's in a very like micro way. It's not all that much different than the argument that William Byron's point tally being different before and after Talladega caused drivers to race differently than they would have if they would have known the point situation prior to the race in Talladega. It's obviously a much smaller, contained form of that, but it's no different. And so, at the end of the day, I guess I agree with the penalties. It makes sense. I don't know. It's definitely I don't want to say it's totally new. It's just we haven't seen something this like that in a while, you know?
I don't know where I stand on this. Like, because it on one hand, it's like you have teams out there fielding multiple cars, and then NASCAR is going to act surprised that they work together. You know?
Oh, NASCAR's wording on this penalty is that Cole Custer and the 41 team violated the 100% rule.
It's really convenient how they can enforce that whenever they want. So,
well, they
and
do
not
that with everything.
all the time.
It just blows my mind. Like, should there not be a rule, like, for what happened?
No,
Other than the 100%
I mean,
rule?
I get it. I get what you're saying. In terms of doing what he did where he did it is very dangerous.
Yeah, on that hand, I could, if you wanted to come down on Cole Custer and be like, that was done, because he basically just brake checked Austin Dillon in the middle of the straightaway.
Not even that is dangerous.
Yeah.
It's not even that is dangerous. It's that when that happened, Chase Briscoe had a clear racetrack ahead of him. Basically, you've eliminated all the risk of those last 2 corners for your teammate by brake checking the other 2 drivers. Where, say he's behind those drivers and he's tied on points, maybe he makes a move, then he makes a mistake, or someone else makes a mistake. You're pushing him without a shadow of a doubt to have that happen. That's where I think it is. It is also dangerous that he brake checked the field.
Yeah,
but it's also eliminating the risk in what could be, you know, a season deciding set of corners. You just kind of cleared out all the competitors that mattered.
Well,
and
I mean, think about it. If TV isn't showing it live, they're not going to see it at all.
it's true.
I was thinking about that. I was like, honestly,
true.
this probably only blew up
very
as big as it
true.
did because they were riding on board with Briscoe as it happened.
Yeah.
But to me, it's like, I get from the perspective of how blatant it was, but like, you know, they didn't have a problem with Eric Jones letting Denny Hamlin by to get him into the Final Four in 2020 in Martinsville.
And they
didn't have a problem with Ross Chastain holding up Kyle Busch to get Kurt Busch a win last year. They didn't have a problem with Chase Elliott holding up Kevin Harvick to get Kyle Larson a win. I just don't understand what the precedent is. So, Kevin Harvick intentionally wrecked the entire field on a restart 6 or 7 years ago, and they were okay with that. It just goes to show what I'm talking about. It's if you're in the playoffs, you can do whatever you want, but if you're not, they're going to drop the hammer on you.
Let's look at more so the ones in the last 3 years. So going all the way back to the Jones at Martinsville through some of those other ones you mentioned. Jones at Martinsville, if Davey's argument is affecting other drivers' races, Eric Jones didn't really affect anyone else's race by giving Denny Hamlin a position and riding behind him. Now, at the time, did I like it? No. Do I agree with it?
Kevin Harvick's because it made him have to go run down Kyle Busch.
Yeah, well, it affected Kevin Harvick's. Well, Denny Hamlin only had to gain one spot to affect Kevin Harvick that much. I mean, it's not directly affecting in terms of, hey, I'm parking my car here, I'm putting my fellow competitors at risk.
Yeah, I agree with that aspect of it.
So
it's the fact that NASCAR's framed it in a way that seems like it's like we're penalizing him because he gave Chase Briscoe a point. Is what it seems more like.
And this is where the argument comes in. They're penalizing him because he violated the 100% rule. Now, let's look at Kurt Busch, Ross Chastain last year at Atlanta, right? Ross Chastain is trying to stay on the lead lap. Competitors racing. His teammate just miraculously gets around, takes the lead, and he pulls over. I have a whole video over on the main JTN page about it. Whole video about it. Whole video talking about how the same thing happened in the spring there, where Joey Logano cut Ryan Blaney a huge break, and no one batted an eye. So in that situation, is he violating the 100% rule? Are you going to say that every driver that lets the leader go towards the end of a race because they're going a lap down or they're going another lap down is violating the 100% rule? No, you can't. That's asinine. Where the waters get muddy is going into that Chase Elliott thing. Because Chase Elliott very much was parking his car in front of Kevin Harvick, right? And even then, that one's still muddy because you could say the same thing. Oh, well, his teammate just so happens to get by Kevin Harvick.
Except for the part where Chase blatantly says it over the radio what he's doing.
Yeah.
There you go.
I forgot about that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here lies our problem.
It's consistency, as always, like you were saying earlier.
Yeah. And again, no two events are the same. Again, is brake checking someone going into a very high speed chicane a little more dangerous than brake checking someone at Bristol? Sure. But also NASCAR needs to just officiate everything as if it is the same. And that consistency will continue to be questioned. Tony Stewart posted today he needs new hobbies, which was hilarious.
I got out of that, yeah.
I'm sure Kevin Harvick is acting like this is all because of him, and NASCAR's just trying to get back at SHR because Kevin Harvick spoke out about the next-gen car because...
By the way, I don't know if you guys... I haven't listened to last week's show yet, but I love that dynamic of Rodney Childers basically outright saying that, like, yeah, we've been skirting around the rules all year, and then NASCAR catches them for skirting around the rules, and they're like, oh, it's because we talked out or spoke out about the next gen. And it's like, no, it's because you just admitted to cheating.
Well, so. And that's another problem with the whole we're going to pick two cars at random, and it just so happens a lot of times the two cars picked are two drivers that have said something in the last 3 weeks.
That is correct. And now, that's not to say that there wasn't something wrong with the deck lid.
Oh, I'm sure something was wrong with it.
I'm sure something was wrong with it.
Yeah, maybe if you're doing illegal shit with your car, maybe don't stick out a giant flag and be like, we've been doing this all year. What's up with that? And the NASCAR's like, hey, let us check out your car then.
Don't be surprised when you're the random car. I mean, I feel like that's in. I think I listened to Door Bumper Clear today, and they confirmed that as well. That like stuff like that's been going on for decades.
Yep.
Just just either don't cheat.
Is
cheat.
It right?
Don't draw attention to yourself.
Is it right to make the random car not a random car? And it's like, oh, this guy's being a d-bag.
If you're
upfront about it,
if you're upfront about it, if you just say it's not random that Steve Phelps or Scott Miller. Scott Miller is probably the one that would actually, because he's VP competition, I think. Scott Miller picks him. Whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't care, but don't say it's random if it's not random.
Yeah,
I think
I
it's
don't
the
think it's
argument
random.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. Maybe it's random in terms of maybe Kevin Harvick has 10 little pieces of paper compared to everyone else having one.
Still a statistical chance that he's not getting drawn. But oh man, he got drawn anyway.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. The darndest thing.
Stuff in the box. Yeah, I don't know. Again, it goes back to the consistency argument. We will have that till the end of time, it feels like, with NASCAR.
Yes, we will.
Daniel,
so let's not all the
Daniel
time.
Suarez, Alex Bowman, Austin Cindric, and of course Kyle Larson is the big one eliminated out of this round. Last round, it was Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch. Thoughts?
Yeah.
Opinions?
That stunk for Suarez, especially the way that they missed it too, losing power steering.
That was tough for Suarez. Obviously, Bowman, that's a tough situation. Cindric, he was so close. I feel like it was stacked in a way to where he definitely could have got to the round of 8 if he just.
Cindric was just running people over, and no one batted an eye about it. And then he gets run over, and it's like, ah.
Well, that's the crazy thing to think about is like we don't even get this entire discussion if Austin Dillon doesn't just flat out punt Chase Briscoe on the first restart into the backstretch chicane.
Yeah, that's very true.
So yeah, I think Chase Briscoe is obviously the underdog going into this round of 8 compared to everyone else.
Yeah,
pretty obvious. Moving on to Xfinity, AJ Allmendinger wins his 4th straight Roval race. Comes first driver to win the race from the pole. Blah blah blah. Good run from him. Him and Ty Gibbs, of course, battling all day because it's a road course. What else do we expect at this point? Daniel Hemrick.
Duke is just unreal here.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be crazy when he can't run this race next year to see who wins. Because Ty Gibbs also won't be able to run this race. Oh boy.
Finally, they're going to let somebody else win the Roval.
Someone else gets to win the road courses next year. Yippee! Here comes Sheldon Creed.
Hey.
Daniel Hemrick, Riley Herbst, Ryan Sieg, Jeremy Clements. 2 of those not surprising at all. 3 of those pretty much not surprising at all. Daniel Hemrick, I don't know if it's surprising or not surprising. It's just the fact that the defending series champion in both the Xfinity and Cup Series are on the outside looking in, going into the round of 8.
Yeah.
Got announced.
The 11 team has struggled bad this year.
Yeah. They swapped crew chiefs right before the playoffs too on the 11 and the 10, which was weird.
Yeah.
I think Jason Trincher.
God.
I should know how to say his name. He raced over at Fast actually.
Oh.
Yeah. But not much really happened to note in this race. I don't know if you guys have any notes.
Ryan Sieg was going nuts.
He
trying
was
to get in that and back into that. Had a good shot at it actually too, but got kind of held up on one of those last couple restarts there.
Well, Brandon Jones decided to just go, haha, I'm gonna finish 4th for some reason. So.
Yep.
Riley Herbst was kind of a wrecking ball also.
Which is fun. He wasn't for a little bit, but then he definitely was.
Then once he got to the back, it was like it was over.
I mean, he was a wrecking ball for sure. Like the first 80% of that race, totally fine. Last 20%, I think he was involved in every accident.
Yeah,
and that's not a joke.
Other than that, nothing much. Nothing much.
Yeah.
Here's some fun stuff. NASCAR media rights. Big new contract coming up for 24 or 25. I forget which year. Teams are only receiving about 7% of the TV revenue, which is crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I was listening to Dormo Clear when I wrote this. They brought up a very good point. Do we want the best drivers? Because we need more money for the teams. Yes, we do want the best drivers. That's a good question. Never mind.
I felt like that was a rhetorical. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, it's phrased as, do we want the best drivers in NASCAR or do we like pay drivers? And it's like, we need both. Obviously, Paul Menard needs to come back. So.
Fair.
Yeah. That's all I have to say about that.
Adam Stern just tweeted out that New York City is near the top of NASCAR's wish list for another street race. Gross.
Never going to happen.
I haven't even run one yet.
Never going to happen. I remember I was listening to, I forget which track president this was. I brought this up before, but he was part of the group that was trying to bring a racetrack to New York City, or like near New York City, and they spent millions upon millions of dollars with lobbyists and all this, that, and the other thing, and they got nowhere with it. So I don't see that changing, honestly, especially for a street race.
No, like you gotta knock it out of the park with Chicago to even think about adding another one.
Yeah.
And I'm worried about Chicago being any good because I do not like that course layout. But then again, it's a bunch of 90-degree turns, and that's pretty much the only good road course racing we see is the 90-degree turns now. So
yeah,
sorry,
street courses. Yeah, there's what the meteorites thing.
Yeah,
that's a really big deal.
Oh, it's a huge deal because
it's not being talked about enough. I don't think. It's being talked about. It's still not being talked about enough.
So, there's also the report that NASCAR is talking with streaming services.
I saw that as well.
Which, hey, Truck Series, looking at you, you could benefit from being on a Peacock or a ESPN Plus or something like that. I think. Mm-hmm. Not all the races, right? You still want to have a lot of those races still on actual television, but having 4 or 5 exclusive races, maybe you throw the Talladega race on there, maybe you throw the Bristol Dirt race on there, maybe something like that, you throw some of those weird marquee, you throw one marquee on there and then you throw some other ones. But the media rights thing is so interesting because you have an influx right now, and this is something we've known about for a while. 2311 with Michael Jordan and his group. You got a bunch of different folks at Roush with Steve Newark, I think is his name. Whatever. You have a lot of individuals though that are very sports savvy on the team side. Finally, it's not just a bunch of good old boys from the South running these race teams. There are some very business savvy people that have experience outside of the sport, which is the big key. There is the experience that's outside of the sport. It's no secret that live sporting events are worth more. Look at when the pandemic started, the fact that WWE Wrestling, which was the only live sports going on, all of a sudden had a big deal with ESPN to showcase a bunch of old pay-per-view. Because it was at least something that a lot of people hadn't seen. It's live sports when it was originally recorded, that type of stuff. They need a bigger slice of the TV pie. The tracks get way too much money for what they actually put into their venues. And the tracks argument is going to be, well, it costs a lot of money. Well, the tracks also get ticket sales. Okay, maybe that puts more.
Rebuilding your race cars after Talladega costs a whole lot of money too.
I can tell you that there are 3 tracks that I would go to for the track. Indianapolis, Daytona. I can't even name a third one, really. Maybe Bristol? Maybe? I don't have
Darlington.
Darlington. Now that actually there. That's it.
Gotcha.
But I go to Michigan because it's the closest track. I wouldn't say any more, especially with the kind of state of disrepair some of the stuff is in my opinion, that I'd go there because I enjoy Michigan International Speedway. Go there because I enjoy NASCAR racing. Enjoy racing. That's why I go to the racetrack. The racetracks as promoters need to do better jobs of getting ticket sales. It's easy. It's easy to just put that on them. And, the worry could be that, okay, well, then all of a sudden the ticket prices are going to go up, and then we're not going to have fans in the stands. Well, all right, well, that sucks. Lower your ticket prices and figure it out another way.
Yeah.
You make hand over fist on money. A lot of times these are volunteers that you have working for you on race weekends, which that goes unnoticed, unsaid. How many times have you gone to the racetrack parking and you've been parked by the Boy Scouts?
Yeah.
Or your local football team, or you know what I mean?
Well, and a lot of this too comes from like the idea behind racing is, your prize money. Again, apologies for the dog barking outside my window.
It's okay.
The prize money is like your incentive for performance. You win, You get a big check. Oh, you can reinvest in your team. That's not how it works anymore. Like you, obviously sponsorship is a thing. Now you need even like further investment. So the idea that teams barely receive any of the TV money for the product that they are the reason, like when I tune in to watch a race like this weekend, I'm not watching for Charlotte Motor Speedway. I'm watching because I want to see Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott and Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick race. And it's like, and the people who are putting them in race cars every week should be the people who are getting the money because it's their labor that's generating the interest.
Well,
you know,
and with the charter deal, how much money you receive is more now than ever tied to where you are in the points.
Yeah.
And if you have 3 bad races to start the year, all of a sudden, oh crap, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's the same argument as like when people complain about like, oh my God, why do football players make so much money? And it's like, it's because they generate that much money. And like the NASCAR teams generate this TV income. They should get a friggin' bigger section of it, you know?
Mm.
You need to give people incentive to invest in NASCAR. It shouldn't, like, these cars are so friggin' expensive.
Shout out,
just be a money sink anymore.
Shout out to the NASCAR teams too for doing a good job of controlling this narrative and not letting NASCAR run away with it.
Yeah,
appreciate that. Just like the drivers with the safety narrative, although they go a little extreme, in my opinion, sometimes. Still good on them. You got anything to add, Davey? I don't want to cut you short.
I know this is your specialty.
All good. So. I'm all good.
The last thing, it was also reported that NASCAR's big old solution is, hey, let's just reduce the costs. Teams have already slashed costs, and then you actually increase the costs on them. So that's crazy. Yeah. And you also told them, hey, fire everybody.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yikes.
NASCAR held next-gen safety meetings this past weekend. They had a crash test that went better. Data was better. Redesigned rear clip. Got reported today that NASCAR is going to be paying for these changes to the rear clip. All it is, pretty much... I had the diagram pulled up. Let me pull the diagram back up so I'm not completely talking out of my butt on this. A lot of it is they're going to remove some bars that should hopefully let that rear collapse more. Which is crazy that, hey, let's... Oh, I love looking at this.
Do you see those new Bozzy tweets?
I did. That's what I was looking at, because he did a good job of pointing out. So, good on NASCAR for being like, hey, we're going to help you pay for it. And we're going to pay for it.
I feel like that was... And maybe some people were like, that's never going to happen. But like that's kind of what I expected. That's like the least you could do.
Hey, guess what? Guess where all that TV money for this year is going? It's not going into the slush fund. I would... Sounds like drivers still aren't happy. Sounds like these meetings are going to be a new thing going forward, which is good. Because NASCAR is probably very scared of a drivers' union starting, if I'm being completely honest with you. Yeah, I don't know. We talked about this rear clip so much. I don't need to. I think expand on it too much. It's way too rigid. Yeah. Box tubing isn't great. Deleting
less than ideal.
Deleting some of these boxes is gonna hopefully help make that collapse more. If it collapses more, it dissipates more energy, less energy to the driver, hopefully less pain for the driver too. But then again, the hits are a lot softer than ever before, so, you know, why are the drivers getting hurt? We don't know. Excuse. I hate that excuse. The folks at home that can't see my face, that are just listening
Joe
to this,
is very upset.
Get very animated when we talk about safety.
Yeah.
So there's other silly season stuff. AJ Allmendinger is officially to the 16 car. I think we touched on it last week.
I would just like to point out I called this about a year ago. So.
Oh yeah, you called it about a year ago for this year. Oh, crazy. It makes sense. They're going to be playoff contenders most likely. AJ has competed on all the road courses this year. Probably could have won, should have won Coda. Could have won this
Same
race.
thing. Yeah, this week.
So, bada bing, bada boom. Is really good at some of the flat tracks too. Some of the smaller intermediate tracks is the way I'm gonna go about saying it, but not completely accurate. And Chandler Smith moves over from the 18 at KBM to the 16 at Colleague and Xfinity.
That's big.
Hey, great Toyota Exodus.
Big time. Love that for AJ. Big time. Love that for AJ. AJ. How do you think he's going to do in that car?
I think he'll do well.
There's 5 road course races. Do we expect him to make the playoffs? I feel like we do.
Excuse me. Damn.
I think he'll be hovering around top 20. So.
And he could probably make the play. He's got it in him to win a road course race.
That's the crazy thing. Like, looking at next year now, after how crazy this year was, who's going to be on the outside looking in next year? That's going to be a good question for our off-season episode.
Oh, that is a good one, actually.
Because, think about it. I mean, 4 different guys, one here to start the playoffs that weren't in.
It is really hard for me to look at the playoffs right now and knock more than maybe 2 people out. Yeah.
Yeah, what?
It's
Chase Briscoe and
I'm pretty sure everyone's first people out of every round has been wrong every time.
Yeah.
Like it's just there's no
there's no sense.
I think me accepting the inevitable Alex Bowman round of 12 elimination is maybe like the only one that we've gotten right so far. So, yeah, who knows? Why do you have a pair of channel locks?
Because I have
I just realized what you were holding.
Yeah.
I saw that. I was like, why?
So the microphone is getting really bad on this. I have to like put duct tape and kind of rig something together to keep it on the stand because I'm cheap. And it was a lot easier to use the
adapter that connects your microphone to.
Yeah, so like the plastic has kind of worn out from.
Dog, I'll send you my extra metal one.
No, it's the plastic piece. It's this plastic piece here.
Oh, the actual.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I thought you were pointing at the adapter.
Yeah, no, okay. This part's okay. This is okay. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, back. Sorry, audio listeners. You don't care. Is reported by Lee Spencer, Candace Spencer today.
You didn't even answer the question. Why you have channel locks?
That's why, because I was tightening it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty. I thought you could use your inference skills.
I was waiting for it. Like I'm.
Yeah.
Whatever. Reported today that Tyler Reddick's RCR contract has been bought out. An announcement expected this weekend. This kind of comes
surprise of nobody.
Comes off the heels of Denny Hamlin saying there'd be a Kurt Busch update. Thank you, Kurt, for all the memories.
Yeah. Hope he gets the send off he deserves.
He won't.
Jesus Christ.
He won't. I mean,
oh my God.
I don't mean to be like Jerk Joe, Double J, but I mean, Casey Kane has to step out of the race car and he doesn't get any send off. Clint Boyer announces 3 weeks left in the year that he's retiring or that he's going to however that went. I don't even remember how that went down. He gets no send off, although he's still on TV. Kurt Busch, I assume, will be on TV. And he's still going to be a part of 2311. Matt Kenseth had the unholiest send-off. What happens when you're... Oh, yeah. They're for the first one.
Yeah.
But I guess that's what happens when you retire when Dale Jr. is retiring.
Dude, I'll always remember that of like they had the grand spectacle of Junior and then they just cut over and it's just Matt Kenseth just like, yep, I'm also retired. It was fun.
So, I mean, it's been brought up that the sport doesn't really care about you. Ronnie Childers tweeted it out.
I was just about to bring that up.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
That's a shame because it shouldn't be that way. Now, Kurt Busch is a champion. To say what I just said is crazy. But, I think what we'll remember... I hope we remember that he won his last win was at Kansas in the Michael Jordan brand car. That's pretty damn cool. I think if you told Kurt Busch in 2004 after he won the championship that would be his last win, he would tell you you're crazy. Albeit Kurt Busch was a little crazy at the time too.
Yeah.
but it's just it's unfortunate. Yeah, I don't. That's what we're kind of pointing to, right? We knew Richard Childress was playing chicken with 2311.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like 2311 kind of figured out, okay, crap, Kurt Busch is going to be out.
Yeah, it was basically like, you better buy out this contract or one of us is going to have to buy a charter. You got to figure this out. It'll be a lot cheaper for you to buy out this contract than to buy a charter.
And that's the thing. You can't do both, right?
Yeah.
So if you're RCR, hey, you know what? We'll start a third team. We'll stick Tyler in the R&D car next year.
Yeah.
We'll take our team that we have for the money team, and we'll just seriously.
It's like what I was saying this in the USRL server though. It was a really, I don't know if it was a bluff by Richard Childress, but it was a really smart one because like if they don't buy him out, it's like, all right, cool. Well, we got Austin Hill's future ride ready. So
yeah. So I mean, I don't know. For all we know, our Childress could have demoted Tyler Reddick to the Xfinity Series next year. Could you imagine?
Jesus Christ.
Twitter would go crazy.
Yeah.
Tyler would win like 20 races. But yeah, I'm really sad. Again, that kind of just points to Kurt's most likely done, which I kind of figured for the last couple weeks. I know I talked with you guys earlier this year about someone that I know on the inside that was, but
yeah,
what a bummer. Anyways, heading to Sin City. Xfinity.
Conveniently, Kurt Busch's hometown. All right.
That's where he's going to make his retirement announcement, I bet.
Yeah. Yep.
I wonder if he can fly.
Don't see why. Yeah, I don't know.
Also, stop with the freaking concussion-like symptoms. He's got a concussion. Just say it. Just say it.
Yeah. He hit his noggin.
Cracked his coconut.
Yeah.
Xfinity, final 4 picks.
Playoff.
These ones are pretty easy, actually.
Well, I don't know I don't even know who's in the playoff. I don't even know everyone that's in the playoff.
No Gregson, Ty Gibbs, AJ Allmendinger, Justin Allgaier,
Those
Josh
4.
Berry. Well, I mean those first 3.
Barry, Austin Hill, Brandon Jones, Sam Mayer.
Are those the 4 you're picking?
No, I was listing the other 4 because you didn't get to them. No, God, no, I'm not picking Brandon Jones for the final 4.
I think that first 4 you mentioned is what I'm going with there.
That's the easy. That's like the layup, I think.
To change it up, I'm going to swap Allgaier for Josh Berry because being a Justin Allgaier fan is nothing but excruciating championship heartbreak. So let's just rip that Band-Aid off before we even get there. So don't even get to the final 4.
Does Ty Gibbs get some comeuppance? Comeuppance? Muppet?
I don't know.
I know Ty's got a bunch of points. He's got a bunch of wins. Noah's got a bunch of points. He's got a bunch of wins. AJ's got a bunch of points. He's got a bunch of wins and the regular season title. So really, it kind of feels like it's for that 4th spot. I look at Martinsville. I look at Josh Berry. I also look at Brandon Jones, who won there, although not really on merit.
Yeah, no, I'll give that one to him. So,
he was there at the end.
Yeah, he flat out raced Ty Gibbs for the lead. I'll give him that.
He did.
So.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. Sam
there, USRL. I didn't shit on Brandon Jones. There, are you happy with me for once? Okay.
None of them are watching this.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh my God.
Race picks. Who you got winning at Vegas?
I'm gonna totally contradict myself and say Josh Berry.
I was gonna pick Josh Berry. Justin Allgaier. I'm gonna contradict myself too.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna take AJ Allmendinger. He's hot.
Okay.
He's hot right now.
Yeah.
On fire.
Not that colleagues ever had any speed on the 1.5 miles this year, but
watch Brandon Jones and Sam Mayer are gonna win the next 2 races and make me look like an idiot.
I swear to God.
Add another one to the long lineage of Matthew being immediately wrong about sports. So.
Or Austin Hill's just sitting there like, gosh, you guys didn't say my name once.
Yeah. I'm thinking about you,
stinks.
Austin Hill. Don't worry.
Cup Series, final 4 picks.
Chase Elliott, Ross Chastain, William Byron because he's gonna get in on a win. He's gonna get a walk-off win at Homestead because he's good there, and Ryan Blaney's gonna point in.
No Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, he's pretty.
He's -5 coming in. So
Yeah, -5 coming in. I don't, you know,
Where's the 4 in? Chase, Ross,
Logano,
Joey,
and Bell.
and Bell.
Oh,
Which Chase is the only one who's really clear. It from Logano to Briscoe is 20 points.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a crapshoot.
2 stages.
Who you got? Matt?
I'm gonna take Elliott. I really don't want to pick Logano because I don't want to see him in the Final Four. But I'm gonna go with my gut and say Elliott, Logano, Chastain, and Hamlin, unfortunately.
Yeah, I got kind of the same. I got Elliott, obviously. He is going to be the one not to make it now that we've all made that prediction. And everyone and their mother has made that prediction. Denny Hamlin, because he is good at Vegas. He is good at Homestead. He's decent at Martinsville. The William Byron shout's really tough. I'm going to go away from it. I'm going to take Christopher Bell. Put 2 Gibbs cars in there. And then the final will be Ryan Blaney. Because he has been the most consistent driver all year, in my opinion. Consistently 5th.
Can't argue with that.
So, who you got winning the race this weekend? Then is it one of your 4, or do you got a non-playoff guy?
I was looking at non-playoffs.
I'm gonna not immediately contradict myself again, and I'll pick Smart this time. Yeah, actually, he was very good here in the spring. I'm gonna take Ross Chastain.
Yeah,
I was gonna go with his teammate Daniel Suarez.
That wouldn't be a bad pick either.
Those are kind of my 2 picks.
They've been good on the mile and a halves.
Oh man. You know, I don't care. I'm a homer at Eric Jones.
There you go.
Ooh, that'd be cool though.
He was really quick until I don't remember who he wrecked. Oh, it was Chase Briscoe. Him and Chase Briscoe wrecked. Briscoe wrecked him.
Funny.
Just like he did this last weekend. But, shout out to Eric Jones becoming like Dark Eric Jones since that Darlington win.
He's gone like full.
He doesn't care.
Like full heel turn villain.
It's not even a heel turn because he's not wrong.
Yeah.
Ty Gibbs ran him over under caution. Great.
Yeah.
He's like, here is my receipt.
The best part, he tweeted that at like 3 a.m. Yeah.
I just know he was drunk. Oh my god! When I saw the time, I was like, oh, please tell me he's drunk. He's got to be drunk when he
Eric Jones likes karaoke, by the way.
Drunk at 3 a.m. and it was a Gibbs driver, and he was like, "Oh, dude,
time to dunk on this nerd."
The Chase Briscoe one is hilarious because we obviously know a couple Chase Briscoe fans, and he didn't run you over. He did run him over. Like he ran him over. He didn't wreck him, but he ran him over.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Hey, running you over in the old rule book wouldn't get you. You'd be fine.
That was a good one, Davey. That was a good one. That was a good joke.
Laugh at my joke. Laugh.
Buy Fake Racers podcast merch on the JTM merch store. Go check it out. We'd appreciate it.
I know I need to.
It's getting cold outside. It's getting a little chilly. We got some new PTR merch up there.
Cold. Yeah, let's not sing that song.
Yeah, let's not sing that song. That's a little weird of you. What's the rule?
Don't be weird.
Davey, I like how you're just like hitting a dab every time you cough.
Well, I got to look stylish and also make my cough quiet so people know that I'm coughing and still sick, but still doing the podcast, and they know I'm a trooper.
And you're also dabbing on them.
Sponsor me, Husky Chocolate.
It's getting 2 birds stoned at once.
That normally doesn't get me. Got me this time. Well, that one got me.
You can follow Davey. He's got all his social media below. Matt's got all his social media below. Really, you need to make sure you're following JTN at Johto Network, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, all those things. I'm going to try to do my best to clip things. Davey's going to try to do his best to clip things. Matthew should try to clip things, but he's kind of busy, I guess.
Oofside.
Yeah, sorry I'm a little behind on uploads. I was gone for a week, but I
just wouldn't upload last week's.
I don't know, it was pretty good. So it's a pretty good episode.
I think we should put it in the vault. We should put it in the vault and then have like a special premiere of it and be like, wow, look at how wrong these guys were.
We really need to go back and revisit the prediction the grade podcast at the end of this season.
Yeah, that's the hope.
Oh yeah.
We were supposed to do mid-season grades, but season got crazy in the middle, so
Yeah, that's lame. The mid-season grades, boo. End of season grades, that's cool.
All right. Anyways, can't thank you folks enough for watching. Make sure you click the like button, subscribe, do all those things. We appreciate when you do. And we'll see you guys next week right here on the Fake Racers Podcast.
Goodbye.
Bye.
One more?
See you.